You're listening to Miscast Commentary.
Hey everybody, welcome to Miscast Commentary, a coming attractions episode. I'm Joe Finley.
I'm Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
And so much to talk to you guys about this
week. It was a
week,
crazy
man.
weekend.
It is a lot of stuff going on. First off, right off the bat, Super Bowl.
Super Bowl weekend.
yes-
Bet the farm on San Francisco.
Yesterday was, as of when we're taping this, was when the Super Bowl happened.
What a game.
I was going for the 49ers.
I was as well.
I had a reason, though. Jesus.
Me too.
You never, ever don't do that.
I'm drinking my beverage of choice.
Okay, fair enough.
Pepsi Cola.
I'll give you that. But
Crystal Pepsi.
but I was really on the fence because I don't give a shit about either team. My team didn't make this.
Agreed, I have no team.
But so I was like, okay, so I'm gonna pick somebody to root for to make it fun, because I'm gonna watch the game no matter what. So I'm starting to weigh the things, and I'm like, well, Andy Reid never won a Super Bowl, and
that guy.
he was the coach. True fandom right over here.
Number one fan.
He's the coach of the Chiefs, and he's been coaching for 21 years, and he's never won a Super Bowl.
So feel sorry for the guy?
Well, he's a good coach. Like it's
The
very
guy's making millions of dollars.
it's not really.
Isn't that good enough?
Coaches by comparison don't make in the millions. Well, some do, but
Oh, they're making mad cash.
they make money. But the idea of somebody that good, it was like when Dan Marino had never won a championship and stuff like that. You're like, the guy's so talented and he doesn't have like the hardware to
Are you
show
talking
for
about
it.
the co-star of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective?
That's the one.
That's how I know Dan Marino.
Heard of him. But it's along those lines though. So that was my big thing for over there. I'm not a big Chiefs fan per se. I think Patrick Mahomes is a great player. Aside from that, whatever. The 49ers had just a couple more things for me. Garoppolo was a former Patriot.
Right.
So I had that going. I also really liked the idea of
Janine Garofalo.
Garoppolo.
Ladies League.
Yeah, she's got a lot to say about her period.
She
I don't
sure
even.
does.
You know what though? I don't even.
Every female player in the female NFL has mics so you can hear them the whole time.
I want to qualify what I just said though, is because remember when she was on The Simpsons when Krusty was a stand-up? It was literally the first thing she said. I don't know a lot of her
right.
comedy,
Yes,
but
that's true.
But in her stand-up on
Yeah.
The Simpsons, she goes, "I got my period today," and it was like, "Ooh," and like that's why I said that. That's all.
my period today.
But anyways, so it was that. But I
Yeah.
also really like the idea of the 49ers. Like the 49ers is one of those like real like historic teams in the league.
Yep.
And they would, had they won, they would have won their 6th title, which would have tied the Steelers and the Patriots for the most ever. So I was like, I kind of like that because you got the team with like Steve Young
Yeah.
and Joe Montana. I'm like, they deserve to have 6
Those are my
rings.
boys.
So I am a Patriots fan, but people often don't understand why I can like actually say something like, oh yeah, they deserve that too. I'm like,
How could you say that?
yeah. Don't you mean
What
that?
the fuck?
don't
They
you
should
mean
all
that
burn
they should
hell?
they should die, and then the
Yeah,
Patriots should get to take their place?
huge.
That's not how it works.
I used to like them back in the day because we used to go to Christina's restaurant.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
the lady was there, was like, what team do you like? And
Her
I
name
was
was
just like
not Christina.
49ers. So from that moment on, I've always just gone for the 49ers, even though I could give two shits about
Did you
the
have a
sport.
49ers, like one of those
I
starter
did, one
jackets?
of those starter ones, yeah. So I used the 49ers was my team, yo.
I had a Bulls one, and
That's right.
I ended up-
Those are all the fucking rage. What happened to those?
never really... They were good. Yeah, I mean...
Kids don't even wear jackets anymore. It's like, it's uncool, I think.
They get hermetically sealed, like
Yeah.
vacuum sealed, and then they get mailed to wherever they're going. That's my understanding of how these
That's
things
exactly
go.
how it works.
Cool.
Digitally.
So, bottom line, Kansas City wins, so congratulations to Kansas City. Congratulations to Andy Reid. I was happy for him.
And congratulations to the fans for seeing all that ass and poon.
So much ass and
Oh my God.
I had fun with that.
I thought it was
show.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, check this out. Dig this.
Dig it.
Okay.
I want to hear what you got to say.
So I'm at a Super Bowl party.
Oh, a partay. Yeah.
I guess there was like 5 people.
Yeah.
So I will not name names, but okay, so there's guy,
But you fucking know.
there's
who you are.
guy, and there's girl. Okay?
And he's
They're
actually switching the genders.
They're hosting the party.
Uh-huh.
And so we're watching the game.
Yeah.
And then the halftime show kicks on. And girl starts losing her mind because J-Lo and Shakira are shaking their asses and blah, blah, blah. It slowly, very fastly degrades into essentially like a domestic dispute. where he was like, come on, it's okay, let's just play. She's like, I don't fucking watch this thing. They're shaking their fucking asses. And we're all just looking at each other like, oh my God. And then he's like, it's okay. It's like, we're just joking, blah, blah. And he goes to hug her and she just like full on Sparta kicks him in the chest. And then when she kicked him in the chest, he was like, what the fuck? And then she kicked him a bunch more times. And then he punched her, I don't know where.
But his hand disappeared.
Once it started getting that awkward, I just was like, look away.
Yeah.
I was like, if I make eye contact with either one of these, guy or girl, I'll die. I will die. It's like when you're sitting on the toilet, you know, and the door's got like a crack in it like this, and you make eye contact with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we both know this just happened.
There's no
You saw me naked shitting.
The's no getting out of it. One of us needs to die now.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Or both.
Yes.
But it was so insane.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Oh, Lord.
And I missed the whole fucking thing. And I was like, this is the hottest thing going. And I'm missing it. This big stripper pole.
Well, I'm really sorry that you didn't enjoy my party. But
he was the guy. He was the guy.
I was hosting, but not you.
That was like the short form version.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. He couldn't even look at the screen during it too. He was just like, I can't even look at the TV or else like I'm a dead man. And I was like, what? Like, I even looked over to my old lady and was like, what?
This is
like,
bananas.
What is happening?
Little diversion just because you said domestic dispute. Did you hear about the...
Hear about when I smacked my wife this weekend?
No, did you hear about the Amber Heard Johnny Depp tape?
Oh my God.
So that...
She's beating the shit out of him.
Yeah. They basically They played audio from a conversation they had after, like, in the midst of a fight, where she basically admitted openly to, like, being violent with him, and that she couldn't promise she wouldn't continue to be violent with him, and it didn't.
How did they get this tape?
She recorded it.
What?
And it got, yeah. So
she's trying to entrap Johnny, and then she admits to everything.
Yeah. So, and it's not to say that he's innocent in all of this,
right?
But she sounds way guilty.
Totally insane.
Because I read the...
That's my girl.
Like, I didn't hear the audio, but I read the thing, and he's basically like, look, when we get heated, we need to go to our separate corners. And she's like, well, what do you mean? We got to break up for, like we're not married? And he's like, no. I'm going to go into my office.
Come on, what do you think
and he
that
says,
even is?
I'm going to go into my office and de-gellify your brain. You go wherever you want to go chill out, and then we can go back. He's like, I want to be your husband. I want you to be my wife. He's like, and I want to be a good husband. And if I'm failing at that, I want to learn how to be a good husband. Right. And like, it was basically,
sounded, it's like he knew she was taping
that's
him,
what
so
I was
he
gonna
would
say.
like just say the greatest thing.
That's what I was going to say. That was like, you remember the owner of the Clippers when he was saying all that racist shit in his girl that was recording?
Yes.
I was like, I picture if he knew what he would have said instead. I love that you have that black friend fellow. And blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just like, but yeah, it was, he did say, it had that sound to it to me. But like, she was just like, yeah, I can't promise I'm not going to hit you and all that. And then he's like, and then he talked about it. He's like, if we can't calm this down and figure this out, then we need to break up or we need to do something.
Yeah,
and I was like, he was being
you knew I was violent when we got married.
That was
You said you loved it.
That was it. Now it started a whole hashtag like justice for Johnny.
I cannot promise that I need to hear this tape. Not right now, but soon.
I don't know if you can actually hear the audio, but I just saw, like, I read the quote from the audio, like, that people heard in court or whatever. Because it's during the defamation lawsuit.
Okay, so Johnny obviously knows, right? There's that Matrix out there, hot to crazy.
Yeah.
She's smoking hot. This is what you have to do. Okay, this is what you have to put up with, okay? Mm-hmm. If you want to bang that piece of hot gristle meat, you know what I'm saying? You want to stab some of that shit, then you got to pay the price.
Yeah.
And that's getting punched out sometimes.
I remember being I don't remember how young, double-digit age, but not teen. There was some girl who, like, just openly attacked me in the lobby.
That's probably
of
my
apartment
sister.
building. No, it wasn't.
Was it me wearing a wig?
Yes, it was that. No, it was this other girl. She went to school with us. I don't even think I ever learned her name. And she just, like, and she was bigger than me. She was, like, basically your size.
Everybody was bigger than you.
No, I know, but, well, she was basically your size, though. So she was, like for height
she
and all
probably had
that,
a crush
right?
on you. She just didn't know how to show it, you know?
But, like, I mean, she went full on, and I had to, like, do that thing that is only done, like, in 50s movies where you kind of grab a hold of them and, like, Get a hold of yourself. Get a hold of yourself. I everything in me was saying, hit this woman.
her one
hit this and I don't just call her a girl. I call her a woman because
This
she was
grown woman.
any woman who's bigger than me is a woman. And I don't care if I was 9 or whatever. And I
cares?
just got a hold, and I'm like, yeah. And then she just like stormed out, and I was like, I feel like that was the last time I ever saw her. It was so
Ever
very weird.
again.
It's
She
very
lost
good
her
of you to just
life.
completely leave the frame. Oh, our mascot's here. Leia has come to visit.
Give me some of that breath, girl.
Goose kisses.
Smells exactly like Joe's genitals.
I know, weird, and peanut butter for some reason.
You
All
wanna
right,
come home with me.
let's actually do a show instead. You
wanna
can
come
put her
home
down.
with me. Oh man, you're
Dude,
so
this is on video. Put her the
cute.
fuck down.
This is now this dog's video. You get out. Don't deny our love,
Jesus
you
Christ.
monster.
Yeah, well, you're not the one who has to edit this shit when you do this.
You better not edit you little cutie. Get off. Get out of here. Get out of here.
All right, so back to the Super Bowl, though. Yeah, that was my dog.
And so now, because we live in stupid Canada,
Yeah.
we didn't even get to see like the puppy bowl, the kitten bowl, the bud bowl.
Okay, so to our American, well, those aren't on that channel anyways. They have nothing to do with the Super Bowl.
They're the main reason.
Yeah, but they're on a different channel. They don't
The
air-
money that they get from the puppy and kitten bowl
they don't
pays
get
for
any
the
of
Super
that,
Bowl.
but they don't get any of that money because it's a different channel.
You think because you live in TV land that I don't know what's up?
I'm about to explain literally everything to you.
Good. I was literally thinking this as we don't get the awesome commercials.
Yeah.
You'll break it down, but I was thinking the whole time I was like, you have to tell me what the
Yeah.
fuck is going on here.
So I'll give the background to any of our American listeners. Canadian listeners are probably at least semi-aware of what's going on here. Say this is an example. He's not a listener of this show though, so that's fair as well. What?
I don't listen to anything.
I don't have ears. That's why I put these headphones on so you can't see my weird holes.
That's right.
So
Weird head holes.
So, anyways, what we do in Canada, not by my decision, is
Whatever.
it's a sim sub thing. So basically, when an American channel is airing the exact same show as a Canadian channel, the Canadian channel like goes over top of that completely. So you don't see any of the American commercials. You just see the Canadian stuff. It's like a CRTC, Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications thing, council. And it was basically their decision. And it's like, so Canadian content and the Canadian commercials and stuff don't get superseded by people just going to the American network.
Oh my god.
So, well, I get it. And when it comes to like the Super Bowl, if you had the American and the Canadian option, nobody's taking the Canadian option because the American commercials.
Take the night off.
Right, yeah, pretty much.
Take the
right?
fucking night off.
But they're
What's the big
sitting there,
deal?
but they're like, we paid all this money for to have the rights to the Super Bowl. We want people to watch it on our network so we can.
Well,
get
why
the
don't
advertising
they
rights.
pay for some good commercials then?
Well,
give
you
us
don't-
something.
Well, you don't pay for commercials. Commercials pay you, and those
Whatever.
commercials aren't paying the Canadians.
Where's Murdoch Mysteries now?
right?
Yeah, it was probably there. It was probably,
Yeah, it was on during break too.
Yeah.
But the whole idea is, so what happened was last year they had opened that up. And
That's
they
what I
allowed
thought
the
I
American
heard.
and here's where we're at though. So because I can tell you, I've actually been seeing the news bits on this. I actually get them in my email at work.
Oh, of course.
So what happened was, so that had opened up, so we had the access to that, and guess what happened? Everybody went to the American commercials. Nobody's watching the Canadian. Like, it dropped dramatically.
Good.
There's some people who don't know any better, some people who are like watching over the air, whatever, but it was like it was just basically anybody who knew it was an option took the US.
It's like, you're like a really protective, jealous lover.
Yeah.
And they're like, you won't let me hang out with my friends, my cool American friends. But you know what? You want to hang out with your friends? Okay, then go. Go. I'll allow it. And the moment you turn and actually go, I'm like, oh my God, no. And then I slam the door and I lock it double.
So that basically basically everybody went crying back to the CRTC and said, no, you can't do this, you can't do this. And it was a big fight. And they got it back. So what you guys
Canadian
got
content.
to watch are some pretty badass commercials, some pretty cool trailers and all that. And what we got to watch were CTV promos for Austin Night. So for American TV shows, funny enough, like Austin 911 and
That's almost Austin 316, yo.
yeah, don't trust anybody except the first responders.
That's right.
But but yeah, so anyways, that's basically idea of that. So you get a few, some slip through.
Yeah, well, speaking of that handsome Rob Lowe,
Yeah, not
look
bad.
at this guy.
Oh, thank you.
I just know, look at how cleaned up you are.
Yeah, right?
Wow. Look at that handsome mug.
Smooth.
I just noticed when I looked over, I was like, wow.
Nobody lets me kiss their genitals when I've got stubbles.
You're in.
And I mean nobody. I'm not just talking like this is a thing with my wife. I'm trolling the
Not
bus
even me.
station. No. He's like, you're scratchy down there, bro.
Yep.
He's
Not
like,
even that old desperate homeless man begging for sex. He's like, not you, anybody but you.
my penis doesn't work, and it works even less when it's got no stubble on.
Mine's an innie.
So, all that. Did you see any of manage to see any of the commercials online or anything like that?
No, I just on the way here remembered, and I saw the Mr. Peanut with Wesley Snipes. He was really good in that commercial.
I didn't see that one. I heard they were they had.
He looks like he's doing well.
Yeah, I heard they got because I think
He
he learned
looks
how to pay
good.
his taxes and stuff. You get to be in an Oscar-nominated movie, like coming out back from all that nonsense. I think you're probably doing all right for yourself. The idea, though, I guess that idea got tamped down a bit after Kobe died, because they were originally
there was a big helicopter scene.
Well, there was supposed to be. Well, no, it was basically so. He died in a previous commercial or whatever, and then it was supposed to be some giant funeral, and they're like, maybe we don't make light of the whole funeral thing when he's barely in the ground.
They still did it though.
Yeah, they did it, but it was supposed to be a much.
Mr. Kool-Aid's tear.
Yeah.
He hits the ground like a tree sprouts.
That's great. But I actually didn't see that one. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So I saw a handful. I saw the Bill Murray Groundhog Day one.
I did not see that one.
That was a good one. So basically,
Did you see the one where it was just little snippets of all the Marvel shows? Man,
Yes.
I was like, whoa.
it was just enough, and it was like that WandaVision one just looks cooler
Yes,
and
it does.
cooler
I
every
agree.
time I see it.
Yep.
And then also the Falcon and Winter Soldier one, to see him practicing with the shield, and you're only getting
Yeah,
shots.
me.
You got nothing, but
I
I'm
liked it
so
though.
looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, it was a good day. I saw Loki too. I was like,
Yeah.
woo, yeah.
I think I'm looking forward to all of them. I'm really, really looking forward to
I didn't know that Moon Knight was a bad guy. I'm really interested to see that one.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
There were rumors that they were trying to get Keanu for Moon Knight.
Nice.
So that would be really interesting.
They should.
But there was that, and then there was a really good one with Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi, and it was an Amazon Alexa commercial, and she's like, "Oh, imagine what did we do before Alexa?" And it shows Victorian times, and this girl goes, "Alexa, make it 2 degrees colder in here," and it's just a woman standing by the fire. And she just picks up
it's Alexa.
Yeah, and she just picks up one of the logs and just chucks it out the window. And then the one guy goes, "Hey Al, play my favorite song." And the guy puts up a jug and goes,
I love that song.
Then he goes, "Hey Al, next song," or whatever. And he was so it was like them using Alexa, but with
Right, but
different
back in
versions
the
all
day.
through times. It was pretty cool.
The Amish version.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So the Groundhog Day one, basically, Groundhog Day is back. They got a lot of people. Stephen Tobolowsky, the mayor there, he was back. Or no, he wasn't the mayor of that, but he's in it. Brian Doyle Murray was in it. And the idea is he notices, so after all these times of reliving, he notices there's a Jeep to the side, and he's like, "Oh, that's different." And then he steals the groundhog and goes on all these adventures everywhere with the Jeep through the snow and all that. And the idea of the tagline of the commercial was every day is different with Jeep or whatever. So I thought it was actually a really
It's strange that Bill Murray did a commercial.
throw enough money at something.
Oh yeah, I guess, right?
But,
Shit, I can't wait to see the new Ghostbusters.
Yeah, and then who else? What else was going on? The Smart Park was really good. It was Chris Evans.
Oh, I saw that
Yes,
commercial.
Chris Evans, Rachel Dratch, and John Krasinski just power Bostoning
Wasn't
through.
it was strange that he needed a robot's assistance to drive forward into a parking space?
It was a tight parking space was the idea, and the fact that it would be hard to get out of your car.
because he's so tall and monstrous.
Well, because you'd be so stuck between the two cars because the one was way over the line.
I
so
think
he
that
can
the
park the
car-
car and unpark it.
It should have been a for gas cars. And it was like a Tesla.
Yeah.
And when he goes to automatically park it, he goes and stands in front, and the car runs the 3 of them over, killing them.
Yeah.
And then it says, "Go with gas.
There you go.
Nature's way.
Yeah, exactly.
Fossil fuels."
We wouldn't be able to find it in the ground if we didn't need it for cars.
Exactly.
But what else too? There was a Jimmy Fallon, John Cena one where John Cena was helping Jimmy Fallon train.
John Cena's all the
something.
rage right now.
Yeah. which I wanted to talk more about John Cena in a little bit.
I do
He's
as
on
well.
my list.
Okay, good. We'll go back to him then.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to him.
Seems like you would just get there right now. You just said his name.
There was no. We have things. There's a bunch of shit, and then there was a remake. Well, it was a remake of The Shining, with it was a Mountain Dew commercial, and it was Bryan Cranston as Jack Nicholson and Tracy Ellis Ross from Blackish as like the Shelley Duvall
Right.
of it, and the idea was it's just as good as the original. So he's going up there, and then like he's like explaining how delicious this drink is instead of like I'm not gonna hurt you, I'm just gonna kill you or whatever it was, right? And he goes in and he busts it open, and he's like, "Here's Mountain Dew," and he sticks it through, and she's like, "I am kind of thirsty." And then it shows the elevator open up, and Mountain Dew comes through the elevator.
Sweet, I want to see that one.
It
That
was
sounds
actually
good.
good. Like, it wasn't listed as one of the higher rated like funny commercials, but I thought it was good. There were a bunch of other ones. I just I didn't get through all of them yet, just because I actually had like a life to lead today.
I still really enjoyed that Tide Pod one from last year. Still Tide Pod.
That was they did a Tide thing again this year, and I found it very disappointing. It was
Well, I mean, how could you top that one? I
well,
mean, shit.
but it was Charlie Day, which I thought instantly was
I
going
was
to
like,
be.
oh,
Yeah.
they were cringe.
When's later?
Bro.
And then it
Oh,
just
yeah.
kept going, and I'm like, stop it. Like, I understand what they were trying for. It did not work, though. So I think that's Super Bowl. Halftime show, I thoroughly enjoyed.
Loved it.
It was a lot of energy. I don't mind. I minded at the beginning. I'm like, why are they picking like these acts and stuff? I'm like, they don't seem very NFL to me and all that.
Jay
Well, no,
Shakira?
going all the way back, like even like when Bruno Mars and it was that. I'm like, I don't know, they don't. But I'm like, the halftime show's for everybody, so whatever. As long as you put on a good show. I mean, for my money, Prince was still the best show.
Absolutely the best.
Like he just.
Prince was the. Did he get Metallica or some rockin'?
Yeah. Well, see, I feel like they are more polarizing. More people will just go, fuck this.
Well, no, because they're going to be deep south too. So, like, if it was like Jason Aldean, the voice of a nation,
Yeah.
maybe them.
Yeah, I think they need people who are going to appeal to the largest number of people.
Well,
Like,
because
that's
there's
why
so
they
many
had your-
people watching.
Yeah,
That's why
exactly.
they're always going to have like the Britneys or the J-Los or the
Yeah, but
Ed Sheeran's going to do an all acoustic
Yeah.
Super Bowl halftime next year.
that'd be amazing.
Oh my God.
And literally just a teeny tiny little platform that he's standing on with a single like
Yeah.
light on him, and he's just sitting there. There's Jack Johnson. I've been waiting, standing, wishing.
Yeah, waiting in line.
Wouldn't that be
for the
even
fucking
better?
bathroom at the Super Bowl.
It's all those same. It's just all those same guys all lined up. So it's like him, Ed Sheeran, Jason Mraz, and it just the light comes on one of them. He plays like 10 seconds of his song, and it just goes to the other guy, and then you realize, oh, it's not pretty much the same song, isn't it? But
Either one of them would be mad that the other was just suddenly stealing their spotlight, but they're just such fucking pussies that
Yeah.
like, it'll never happen.
I'm not gonna bring it up. I'll let my security deal with this. So yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed them. But I really liked J-Lo with all the pole work. I thought she worked her ass off on that one too. Like she was really singing, which was obvious.
Was she?
Yeah, J-Lo was.
They were all lipping.
No, she. It looked like Shakira was.
J-Lo's really riding a high note too, because that Hustlers movie is actually supposed to be really good.
Yeah, and that's why she was doing all that pole stuff, because she just learned it. on
Learned it. That's
Hustlers.
what I thought. I was like, they got the pole out.
But and then I liked it. Not that it was too subtle, but the Latin children in cages moment.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh, so basically it comes out to this wide shot, and then it's all these like young kids, all Latino kids.
Oh, like all the kids at the border.
And then there's these like lit cage things that a bunch of them are sitting in. I'm like, I see what you're doing. And then one girl starts singing "Born in the USA," and it was cool. And I was like, oh, neat. And she's singing with J-Lo. I'm like, what a cool experience. And then I find out it's J-Lo's daughter.
It's her daughter.
And I was like, oh shit.
So there is a video of the national anthem happening, and Donald Trump is pretending like he is conducting an orchestra. So it's not okay for Colin Kaepernick to disrespect the flag, but it's okay for douchebag president #1 to do it.
Yeah.
Of course, well, he's all about that kind of shit.
But
though.
he'll say, I was conducting the orchestra.
Yeah.
I'm the best conductor of all time.
Yeah. So that's all good.
So conductor, if you don't know, they make music and they also ride trains.
And the best thing too is Melania
and
and the son were
Yeah.
and he's like
Because
he's like, "Hand me this hot dog."
because he is you know, and I don't want to use this word, but I don't have a better way of saying it to like put the sting on it that's required. He's functionally retarded.
Yes, yes.
He congratulated Kansas City for their great win and for bringing the win or the trophy back to Kansas. Kansas City's in Missouri. But why would you want your president to know what state you're in? Not interested. I want him to go so badly now to move to
so
fucking
amazing.
Kansas and Missouri and just be like, well,
my Lord.
whoopsie doodle. But that halftime show aside, and then also because it was funny when they finally got together and started like jiggling their asses. I'm like, here's what I've been waiting for. This is what was promised to me when they said.
I believe that their asses didn't just fly off into the crowd. Imagine somebody, J-Lo's ass. Woo.
I pictured
just a cheek.
Well, was it last year or whatever when all of the drones were in the sky and like we're doing like the light show thing?
Right.
I thought there were going to be drones in the sky and then look like jiggling ass cheeks. But just a thought.
They should have had
everybody
in the stands that has one square with the butt painted, so then the whole audience lifts it up, and one half of the audience is Shakira's ass, and the other half
and then
is
if they all do
exactly.
this,
Exactly.
That would have been amazing.
Just undulating ass cheeks.
Yeah. And then when J-Lo vagina knee slide thrusted.
Oh yeah, they were showing their vages off hard.
She like did that knee slide at the camera.
Right into the camera.
If I was wearing 3D glasses, I would have came. But
3D.
Yeah. Well, that's always 3D. Well, how do I know? It hits my eyes constantly.
And everybody else that's around.
We need to get a 3D camera here for
what
this.
the I just did it.
Here.
3D, put your 3D glasses on.
Have a sip of water.
3D podcast. Oh my God, we just did it. We just broke into the new market.
That's exciting. But we're breaking into a new market in another way, which we'll announce very, very, very shortly. But I want to talk about somebody who wants to do next year's halftime show. It's a very specific duo of musicians.
Okay, let me guess. Is this real?
This is real.
It's a duo.
Based on their Twitter account.
LMFAO.
No, it's not a bad guess, I guess.
Right Said Fred.
Wild Stallions.
Oh my God.
Bill and Ted want to do the halftime show. I'm sure it was just publicity, whatever. But I bet you
write that song then.
I bet, yeah.
Like, oh shit.
That would be out of this world, though.
Imagine they're standing their whole audience doing the symbol of universal peace.
Oh my God.
Shut up over there.
I know. I didn't even hit the thing. I hit down there.
I don't give a fuck.
See,
Ooh, splashes. Splashes.
Other trailers worth noting too.
None.
The F9 trailer was released this week.
And Cena he's saying he's not the villain.
But he is.
I think he's a bad guy.
Well, no, the trailer flat out showed he was the villain.
It said villain and there's Cena.
But to develop Fast and Furious into a bigger soap opera than ever, who is John Cena? Dom's brother.
The Rock.
No, he's Dom's brother. He's Vin Diesel.
Ludacris?
Jesus Christ. Vin Diesel.
Then he was Ludacris's brother.
No. So yeah, no, he's Vin Diesel's brother, and he's like, you've done everything to be as fast as him and as smart as, and it was like that kind of thing.
We've never heard of him before. He's never mentioned him.
He constantly is in contact with his sister, so like you would, yeah. But that's exactly it. But how do they end the trailer? Somebody walks into the room and he's like, nice little hideout you got here. It's Han, who died to confuse everything up, he died in Tokyo Drift, but then was back for 4, 5, and 6, and then was like, yeah, I'm going to Tokyo. And then because
I gotta do more drifting.
No, because Tokyo Drift takes place after 6. Like in the timeline of it
all. Oh Lord! See ya.
Well, basically what happened was they wanted, because they didn't want to pigeonhole themselves into being, these are the only people we can follow now. So they're like, this takes place in the future. This takes place in like 2015, and then it's like, so then if we want to come back to these guys, we can just continue that story.
Fast and the Furious 9.
So Han, who was killed in part 3, then lived through 4, 5, and 6. And
disappeared for 12.
Then hasn't been around, is now back. Now it's a question of, it's one of two things, which is very soap opera.
And he's younger.
Is it his twin brother who's here to get like thing?
Maybe he works with Cena.
Or is it him back from the dead? Yeah, like it's...
You know what? No. There's going to be so many fucking scenes of Vin Diesel be like, you're my brother. we're a family. This is my family now. You
This
know what I
is-
mean? Like, oh, but everything's got to be about family.
Can I make a hot take?
You're my family.
If I didn't lose a single pound but just got a little taller, I'd look exactly like Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I thought you were Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, like, cause like I hear people like, what a hunk and whatever. I'm like, he's not even in shape.
Oh my God, he's hilarious. And you know there's going to be those
Yeah.
speeches. You were my brother. I looked up to you.
He is the biggest ego on
Why
the
can't
planet.
we be? That's why The Rock doesn't want to do nothing with him.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, fuck this loser.
They'll be back for part 10 is the final one.
Part 10.
And
It's
then if
all
we want,
planned out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and if we want to talk about way too many movies.
Oh, wait a second. We got to go to John Cena. Or is he still
Well,
later?
this was I'm sorry. I thought that you were thinking the same thing as me. You got more John Cena?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear about more John Cena.
So John Cena is in the Suicide Squad.
Yes.
And James Gunn has just come out and said... Jimmy G has just come out and said that, like, John Cena is, like, the best, like, improv actor he's ever worked with.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
It's a something along those lines. He said he's a great actor. He's super versatile.
Yeah.
And he said he's, like, the best improver.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I like John Cena, like,
Me too.
as a dude. Like, I haven't literally. He was a brand new wrestler when I stopped watching
Right.
wrestling. So I mean, I don't have any. He had just kind of come out of the Thugonomics, kind of like he was just like in there. Jesus Christ.
It's a 3D.
I get it. Except for the people listening to the podcast where
that's
you're
in
being way too goddamn visual.
4D.
Yeah. So
Get a TV then.
yeah. Well,
Cheap bastards.
it's a computer.
Holy God. Hey?
It's fine.
Get a monitor.
So we're talking about Fast 9, Fast 10, for Mission Impossible, the next two Mission Impossibles.
7 and 8?
Yeah. Kittredge, who was the boss from the very first Mission Impossible, is back.
No way.
Yeah, Henry Cerny, who plays Agent Kittredge, who's the one you remember at the beginning. He's like, I understand you're very upset. You've never seen me very upset, Kittredge, and he gum on the glass and explodes. All that
Yes,
stuff.
I do remember
So
him. Yeah.
so he is back. I don't know where he fits in.
What are they
good guy
going
or
to
bad
do?
guy.
Like,
I don't know, but I like a little bit of a coming around thing because it's not like they killed him off or anything.
it's sort of
right?
like what they just did with Bond. It's weird how the same two things are going down. Oh, they did
Yeah.
a Bond preview with a little bit more.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
It's a Bond movie, though.
More about the fact that he was dead, but not dead.
Yeah.
And then now there's another 007. And I don't know. I like Bond.
I love James Bond movies.
It's just I watched them. And
I liked
it is
most
what
of
it
the.
is.
I liked a lot of Daniel Craig's ones.
I
They
do-
were really good, except for Quantum of Solace. I didn't like that one.
Quantum of Solace was just kind of, but it was also coming out of a hard spot though. Like it came out of like Casino Royale set such a cool
That was a cool movie.
thing. That being said, though, Quantum of Solace has one of my favorite scenes when he's sitting there. It's at that opera thing, and he's sitting there, and he's got like the headpiece where like all of the people from Quantum are all
Right.
like talking, and then he busts in, and they all start getting up and walking away. And he's like taking pictures of all of them. I was like, that's pretty cool. That's some cool spy shit.
Some spice shit.
Interesting news about Birds of Prey. The director, whose name I forget her name currently, but she reached out to the director of John Wick to help direct the action scenes for Birds of Prey.
Oh, so
because they wanted that style and stuff like that, so they started kind of consulting with him, and apparently he came out to set and helped out. And,
no way.
yeah,
Like
so
the stunt director guy
the director
of John Wick.
of John Wick.
Oh, neat.
So-
I'm like, that's a cool story. He's like, you know what? I got nothing going on for the next.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I'll come down.
What the hell?
I wonder if they would give you some cha-ching or if you
Oh,
just
I'm
do
sure
it
he'd
as
make-
like a credit.
I'm sure he made
Not a
some
credit, but I mean credit backstage with like this guy's cool.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet there's probably some kind of scale pay for him to show up, but like I'm sure he didn't take like a director's salary.
Right. No, because he's just
Yeah.
coming in. Maybe he was a consultant till he and
Yeah.
let's see. What didn't
Yeah.
they have it? They're like, thank God you showed up because
Yeah.
if not, Margot Robbie was going to be our stunt coordinator.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that I didn't like about it is because, like, they're trying to get female directors involved. Well, some people are trying to get female directors involved and stuff like that. And then it's like one big one that you're hearing, like a pretty like high end one that you're hearing about, and it's like, yeah, they had to go get a man to go get the action, and it's like, and I was like, that kind of bummed me out, because I mean, like, Patty Jenkins isn't dealing with this.
Well, at least they weren't like it. We can't bring him in because he's a man.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
See, at least women are smarter than men. They'll actually
Yeah.
go get a man to help
Yeah. Well, I'll say,
when a jar needs open.
yeah, enough. Enough men have asked women for help in that, like, all the best movies back in the day were like edited by women. Like, I think Godfather was edited by a woman.
That's
Jaws.
true. Yep. They say that editing makes the film.
You got it.
I agree with that.
I do too.
Yeah.
And well, it's all the pieces, because obviously the cinematography and all that has to be down. The acting's got to be down. The editing, of course, has to be down. The music and all that.
The movie's going to be 4 days long, and it won't make any sense.
But it's just crazy to me that any one of those things being just off,
not
even,
do it.
and like, I'm not even saying bad. I'm just saying off.
Yeah.
If it's just a little off, the whole thing's garbage. So I mean, that's why, like, when you're saying, oh man, there's not that many good movies, it's hard to make a good movie, really. Especially, okay, go do it. I'll wait.
Okay, let's get the money. We'll make it together.
No, you have to you're on your way right now. Go.
Right,
you
well,
said
great, here we
you
go.
said that you could make a good
Here
movie.
we go. Imagine this. Oh my God! Next on Entertainment Tonight.
It literally pops up on my screen.
right
Like, that
as I
was
walk
fast. Shit. And then speaking of the female directors, I guess why do you do that right?
I'm gonna
into the
play
microphone?
Jesus.
You're doing
in,
all my least favorite things in this
and
podcast.
take my pants off. I'm gonna star in Mel Gibson's Jesus sequel.
Nice.
Yeah, it's called The Resurrection.
The real passion of the
Yep.
Christ. It's when he gets his dink out. But, and it's the shape of a cross. So
Rock
he can only
of
get
Gibraltar.
he can only get the tip in, because the rest, like,
Wow.
it's
You
like,
get rough.
I guess it's like Kylo Ren's
Go
sword.
sideways, and
Yeah,
you don't have to do it like this way. Go that way.
you gotta go like what, like this, like X-Men. Well, I don't like any. What I would do is I would go wall anchor. I'd fold the other two pieces up, stick it all in, and then let it spread. Deal with that image, you world.
Also, like a kite that's made out
Yeah.
of a vagina.
I know. And but
Pussy
yeah,
popsicle.
speaking of pussy popsicles, Star Wars took place in Hoth. They spoke to Kathleen Kennedy. They were doing an interview with her, and she said that absolutely future Star Wars movies will have female directors.
I read that as well.
Today,
I think.
Yeah, and I think that, like, they broke that plane very briefly in Mandalorian, where Bryce Dallas Howard directed an episode, and a good episode too, for that matter. And so,
Oh, nice.
yeah, I wouldn't
just a
mind
pretty
seeing
face.
her get it. I wouldn't mind seeing her get a shot. And it's actually right after that too. And I was thinking about Bryce Dallas Howard. I read an article it was an interview with Ron Howard. Sorry, I was gonna say Howard Stern.
Howard
That's
Ron's.
Yeah, no, but it was an interview with Ron Howard, and he talking about he spoke to George Lucas prior to jumping on to Solo, and he was just saying, like, how you have to deal with Star Wars fans.
I literally read the same thing today.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So yeah, the basic idea, and this is kind of, and I totally get this, because, like, this is without saying that Star Wars fans are fucking toxic
Pretty
and all that
much.
stuff. He's just like, you have to listen to them, but you have to make your own movie.
Yeah.
And that's the end.
And apparently he likes it when they get out there with the ideas and do different things and mix it up. And
Good, and I'm glad. And it's like, I wish he would have been a little bit more supportive going into this trilogy,
all right.
because, like, and that, because, hey, they're doing something different and cool, like, but he's just like, he was still kind of sad. He lost his baby, and he's just
He
kind
sold
of
his own baby and then felt bad about it
yeah.
afterwards.
Well, that's the thing. You get the seller's remorse, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there's that. What else we got? We're talking about Joaquin Phoenix made a speech about diversity in that at the BAFTAs when he won for Best Actor. I don't know what's going on with him. Like,
he's always weird, though.
he's always weird, but I never know if he's doing something, like, earnestly, or if he's doing something to get attention. Like, this screams to me just as much as when he was, like, acting up on Letterman with the beard. And
I
all
was
that.
going to say that right there is
Yeah.
what makes you question this.
Yeah.
Because he did that whole period where he's just weird and like, I'm quitting acting, and he did that
Mm-hmm.
stupid movie with Casey Affleck. And now it's like, do you believe him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or is this just a thing?
And the problem of the whole thing too is that, like, he's just going off, and like, if it's in earnest, good for him. Like, that he's trying to use his platform to, and that's great, and I support that. But it's just because he's so off, and he's not talking about any one thing. The first time he was talking about, like, the environment, he's like, hey, you got to stop you know, everybody flying their private planes,
Yeah.
and blah blah blah. And then this time was about diversity, and he was right. And he was like, I'm ashamed to say I'm part of the problem, and all this stuff. He said good things, so I'm not disputing any of that.
Right.
It's just that, and he's not wrong, but it's just
But is it just too on the nose for this type of like social climate?
I think our question will be answered if at the Oscars he wins and he says something completely different about something else.
Suckers.
But I'm saying like I'm just gonna talk about something completely different now.
The natives.
And then
well, maybe you can like carry out more than one thing. What if he goes there in front of a camera? He's only got to talk about one issue.
But I feel like it just feels more like he's trolling if he's doing that, where he's doing the thing, like he's like parodying what other people are doing almost, like when they come up and talk about stuff. So he's just going up.
And I found it funny too because Ricky Gervais even said, he's like, don't say any of your political shit when you come, and then he did.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I was
he wasn't the only. Well, everybody did. Don't get him wrong. Don't get us wrong.
These fucking stars, eh? Every now and then they take their heads out of their fucking asses and look around, and then you gotta hear their opinion. With their own shit breath coming at you.
I'll give a lot of them credit. A lot of them actually do like a shit ton of charity that we couldn't possibly do. Jane Fonda. And he was
arrested at Jane Fonda's thing too.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting too because I heard a story specifically from Paul Scheer because he got arrested at one of those things as well.
He deserves to be arrested.
There you go.
He's a miscreant.
Yes. Ever since he joined that fantasy football league, it got all weird. But no, he got arrested for the thing, and then somebody had asked on his podcast how he dealt with that, because he was they were thinking about doing the same thing. It's like, well, first off, make no mistake, you're being arrested. It's not like fantasy arrested. You're still going to jail.
Yeah, for half an hour.
No, he was there for like several hours, and like he was,
right.
Like it's like you didn't commit a violent crime or something like that. He has to pay a fine. He has to he has a record now.
And what was it for? What are those protests?
It's I think they were energy based. I think they were like green. It was like Green New Deal stuff that they were fighting for or whatever. But the point is, and I think it's the interesting point too, is when you're an actor, you can do that shit because you get in trouble and nobody's looking at your criminal record and going, oh, you got arrested for civil disobedience and blah, 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 blah. It was like, guess what? A McDonald's won't hire you if you've got, even if it's a civil disobedience. It's like, oh, you've got a record? You can't come here.
Well, you better sell off those awards.
Right, exactly.
You're not working at McDonald's.
That's right. No, but that's what I'm saying is because you're an actor, you're basically free of that. That's like,
true, right?
Like that's basically free jail. Like it's like whatever. It's like when you watch comedians in cars getting coffee and like Seinfeld's speeding around. He gets pulled over by the cops and he's laughing. He's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Has he gotten pulled over on the show?
Oh yeah, he got pulled over with Chris Rock, and Chris Rock was like, if you weren't here, I'd literally be scared. And then he was sitting there and he's like
the perfect thing to happen so Chris Rock can make all these jokes, eh?
Yeah, and it was just and it was so good. But yeah, he gets pulled over and he gets and just no problem. And it's like, that's rich guys, man. He's like, well, what else am I going to spend my money on? I'll just drive too fast. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. What does he care?
I'll drive as fast as I want.
I feel like Seinfeld would be a good driver.
He is a good driver.
Yeah.
Everybody on the show always says he's such a good driver, and he's got like
not quite a Porsches.
He's got like not a Leno amount of cars, but a lot of cars.
He's got a lot of Porsches.
Yeah. I remember somebody asked him how many cars he had, and he said an amount where if I told you, you would know it was too many.
Smart answer, smarty.
Yeah. So let's talk about next week. Stop leaning out of frame.
I can't help it.
Just sit up straight.
No.
Like you're just literally like, so this is a great podcast today.
Like, what is this? What is this? The posture podcast?
Well, it is if you need to be on. If we're doing it on video as well. Jesus Christ. But
God.
Never had to yell at you so many times. You've literally done your best of like horrible tropes. Except I'm doing mine of the mic.
Right? I stick with the classics. You take all the bullshit ones.
I do the ones that paid the bills.
That's right.
But let's talk about next week's movie. Next week's movie is one of we
What a movie! I think it's the one you're gonna.
No, because we've already done that movie. You're thinking Little Monsters.
No.
Oh no, we are talking about Rowdy Roddy Piper. Okay, you're thinking of the right one. Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Oh my God, what a treat! What a treat
great
you will have.
movie. A movie that I was introduced to when this was given to me as a birthday gift from the man sitting next to me, and we watched it that night, and our lives were forever changed.
I very much forgot it.
Yeah.
And it did not disappoint me. Oh
No.
my God, what an amazing movie.
Everything we could have hoped for in this movie.
I want to own it myself. I
Yeah.
need to find it because it's like, oh my. I need to find all that dude's movies.
Yeah.
All of his lizard, turtle.
Oh, you want the Maximo
movies.
T-Bird
Yes.
movies? Yes.
Yes.
We got to hunt them. We'll hunt those down. We'll see if we can do that. Something I've been wanting to do with you. I don't know how. I have no idea how to do the logistics of this, but I want, like, if you're back on the boat or at some point or whatever, we have to have time off together, though. I want to do 24 hours of straight podcast. I'll get that.
It's a podcast-a-thon.
It's a
It'll be
podcast-a-thon
live.
where we'll stream the entire thing, but then we will just keep recording episode after episode after episode after episode, and then people will just see us descend into madness and be able to
We
hear
did a
it.
three-banger one night.
We did the three banger, and if anybody who hasn't seen that, our behind the scenes of that, you can go check that out on our YouTube page.
24
It
hours.
is.
We should do for charity or something.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That would be a really interesting thing to do. We'll try and figure that out, but we got to figure out a time when we can actually do 24 hours and not ruin our lives.
Oh my God.
That's the
yes.
hard part right now.
My
But-
life's been ruined for years.
Well, I apologize for that.
the
It's
moment I
mostly my
started
fault.
doing this podcast from you, it was ruined.
Yeah, I know. And seeing as like I brought this upon you, then it's my fault. But
Agreed.
let's think about a happier time, a time when Hell Comes to Frogtown was a part of this podcast. Let us take a
God.
listen.
Reflect for a moment on the art of cinema. Think of a motion picture like The Last Emperor and the 9 Academy Awards it so richly deserved. Consider the profound emotional experience of a truly great film. Then forget it, sweetheart.
Yes, better blow it out your exhaust pipe, cinema lover, because here comes fun with hair on it.
Oh, that's disgusting.
You're gonna see the biggest piece of shattering entertainment that ever molested your sensibilities.
That sounds great.
Want a plot? Here it is. It's the end of the 20th century, and mankind has blown its wad. The fate of humanity rests in the groin of one man.
Their leader, Commander Toady, has kidnapped some pilgrims who wandered into their territory. We're gonna get them out, and then you're gonna get them pregnant.
Yes, if you want a brilliant film, you can go right to
We're going to Frogtown.
Hell Comes to Frogtown. Starring wrestling superstar Rowdy Roddy Piper. Move over, Mr. Mel Gibson and Mr. Robert De Niro. Here comes acting talent and sensitivity like you've never seen.
You are one weird dude.
And speaking of talent, turn green, Ms. Meryl Streep. Here's Sandal Bergman, the exquisite star of Red Sonja and Conan the Barbarian. Hell Comes to Frogtown, a story of mutant sex and people like you and me. It's hot, it's wet,
And it's bad.
it's Hell Comes to Frogtown.
That is the best trailer I've ever seen in my life.
I agree with you.
We will post that
was
trailer
amazing.
online for you guys to see. That is the most honest trailer I've ever heard. Oh no, it's still going.
Wanna talk tough?
No, fuck off.
Oh, we could have had something cool at the end.
It was an Elvira Mistress of the Dark trailer started auto playing. But yeah,
Oh my God, that trailer was fucking awesome.
that was what we're
That
seeing.
almost killed me.
That's wonderful. That is just wonderful. So tune in for that. But speaking of tune in, we've got an interesting announcement for you guys. We talked about it a long time ago, and it felt like it kind of fizzled away, but it didn't. Our Patreon is still ready to rock and roll, and we have for you many episodes in the can already. We are doing our Game of Thrones commentary show, which will be our Patreon extra release. What the fuck are you doing?
I was gonna do Game of Thrones, but I was like, wow, I can't pull the G off.
I was also gonna say that's like just the picture you take when you show the hand jobs you give, but
My hand is stuck in that shape now.
it's just a permanent claw.
It gets the job done.
Yeah, it's fine. You just kind of mush stuff in there and then just shake it around. It'll be great. And then, but yeah, so the whole thing is it has a title officially. It is going to be called Binge Watchers on the Wall, and it has a theme. Listen to it here.
This is the journey of one man who knows way too much about Game of Thrones, and one man who has never seen it. Miscast Commentary presents Binge Watchers on the Wall, a Game of Thrones podcast. Now here are your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray.
And that's us, because we're still doing that one too. So we will get basically the miscast commentary treatment for every single episode of Game of Thrones. I have seen all of the Game of Thrones. Todd has seen none of the Game of Thrones until we record them.
That's right.
So when we record the episode, that is literally the first time he's ever laying eyes on it. He knows none of the spoilers. It has been a wonderful experience to see you experience these things for the first time and all these good things. So that will be on our Patreon starting February 16th. We are going to then have a delay, and then we are going to release it to the public.
Sweet. You know what?
So
I'm gonna see if I gotta have a story ready.
You got a story?
Slap on there.
Yeah. We're gonna sort out some of those other things. There's gonna be little bonuses that are gonna be around along the way. Most of what we have in our Patreon are surrounding the podcast, though. The early access, you can get early access to this the Binge Watchers on the Wall. That will come out later, probably I think we're doing about 2 months later. We'll be releasing those, which means you'll be about 8 episodes behind if you wait for the public, or you can get them all right away by getting our Patreon. You can then also get access to some of our merchandise. You can get access to us personally. You can actually, if you go to our highest thing, you can actually pick one of our movies and come on the show and talk to us about it.
Fuck yeah.
So lots of great things, and that is officially starting February 16th. You can go to our Patreon website and see what's going on. February 16th, we will do that. I will release this Sunday, I'm going to release the first 10 minutes of the first episode for everybody to hear.
I thought it was a good idea playing the music too. It was a good little
Thank
teaser.
you.
I just tease
That's
you.
how I
Give you a
roll.
little taste.
They give it a little something. But yeah, we'll play the first 10 minutes of the first episode, so you can all bask in that. I want to finish today with a story.
Oh yeah, story time.
Yeah.
You can tell it's gonna be a good story.
I've been through some stuff this week. I'll start with I'm taking my kids to Disney, which I have announced on this show previously. We've got a plan set. We're going in March into April. So if you're there around that time and you see a big fat bald dude, come up and say hi, and I'll take pictures with you because I'm famous like that.
Of course you are.
So, hey, you look like you're getting sunburnt.
I hope that somebody actually does, and it's not you.
Oh my
God! It's Joe from Miscast Commentary. Oh my God! The guy's like, who the fuck are you talking about? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, speaking of which,
and it's actually Donald Pleasance.
Yeah, Paula Abdul mistook Nicole Scherzinger for Shakira at the Super Bowl yesterday, and so that was a fun little.
Oh, she's like as old as the hills now.
I know.
She doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that was Paula. That's my perfect Paula impression.
Paula.
Some awfully loud going on outside. But that's neither here nor there. So anyways.
Well, yeah, it's there.
So it's over there.
We're here and here.
My plans for Disney for the kids was to surprise them. The idea was we were going to stay at a hotel the night before, but we actually had to cross the border to do it. We were going to fly out of Buffalo. And then I started thinking, oh God. So the idea was we'd wake them up the morning of who they thought they were going to be going on some shopping trip. They hate going on shopping trips. So we were going to like, oh, there's some big sale thing, and it's going to be like this new release thing, and we want to get it right away, blah, blah, blah. And thankfully, when it's about shopping and stuff, you can be super vague because they don't want any of the details anyways. So then it starts to occur to me, how do I get across the border without saying out loud that we're going to Disney because I
Right.
can't lie. So
Nobody's ever lied going across the border. That's for sure.
Well, no, but I shouldn't.
know.
I don't want to lie.
Right.
Right. And it's like, because it becomes that thing. If they just do a random check and all of a sudden we've got tons of luggage in the back, they're like, oh, what the fuck's this?
I always
It's
keep
like,
luggage, tons of luggage
yeah.
in the back.
I always keep 20 days worth of clothes there.
You never know what's gonna happen.
But all my passports and Nexus and everything else. But so that was the plan. But then I'm like, okay, so how do I get across the border? I called border security. I called the U.S. Customs and Border Security, and I asked, I'm like, what the hell do I do in this situation? I'm like, has it maybe come up or something like that? And the guy, he's like, oh, God, that's a tough one. He's like, it really depends on the person. He's like, I can't guarantee they're not going to make you say everything and whatever.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm just trying to do the most legal thing here. I'm trying not to lie to anybody, but not say anything to my kids. And everybody was suggesting, oh, put headphones on them or something. Let them like watch their tablets. No, because every time I go across the border with the kids, first thing they're told to do is take, like, if they're wearing headphones, take them out.
Right.
Because they will ask them a question.
Are you kidnapped?
Yeah, exactly. So, which they apparently they always are to me. I get searched all the time.
Yeah.
When it's just me and one of the kids.
Help me!
I've had my car like X-rayed and shit, which is pretty cool. But I got a tip for those of you who are crossing the border and you've done nothing wrong, but you just feel guilty. So this is, if you're guilty, don't do this because you don't deserve this trick.
Right.
But if you're innocent, but you feel guilty when people are like searching your shit, have a drink with a straw in it because you can't look guilty if you're drinking through a straw.
What?
I literally, so the day I've had my car searched twice. Once I was with my daughter. I went over the river. I wasn't over very long. And they didn't like that. So they ended up searching my car. Like, they didn't, like, gut it. But they opened it up, and they just looked under the seats, and they opened up the
Knife
trunk
and open
just,
everything.
Yeah. They, like,
waving in front of the kid.
Yeah. Nothing like that. But then it was just kind of like, whatever. We sat off to the side. They looked, and they're like, okay, you're free to go. All we found is exactly what you said we would find. So that was fine, whatever. The next time, it was literally right after I went to... or it was right after, like the day after Trump declared the trade agreement,
Right.
all that.
Yeah,
done.
the new one or whatever.
So
yeah.
we had the whole trade war thing going, and I went over the next day, and so they were just checking everybody like brutally, and they had one of those little things. So I had a drink with I had like a McDonald's pop, and so I took that out of the car with me. And they're doing this thing, and I just walked up to them. I'm drinking from my straw, and I'm like, "Hey guys, so what's going on?" It was like, "Did I do something wrong?"
Yeah, and that's
or
when they
blah, blah,
plant
blah?
the drugs on you.
And they were just like, and I was like, "But you can't. Like, you're drinking through a straw. It's like having a lollipop. There's no looking like a guilty person."
Oh yeah, sure you're not licking
Yeah.
a lollipop standing next to like the school.
Golly, mister. Well, no, that's again, it's context.
Right.
If you're in
They're not
front,
gonna think it's strange that you're some weird guy with
Yeah.
these kids licking a lollipop when you go across the border.
I didn't say
all
kids
weird.
licking. I said me licking a lollipop.
I know I said around kids
Yes.
being all weird.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be around kids in this
Anyways,
scenario.
okay.
But anyway, so yeah, just have the straw, but that's that. But anyway, so I was just trust me.
I
If
do.
nothing else, it's a placebo and it makes you feel better.
Right.
It makes you feel like you're just like, oh, I don't look guilty to anybody now. But again, if you're guilty, admit it and go to jail like a man.
Don't use that technique.
Yeah.
You just told everybody how to smuggle everything over the border.
No,
now.
that's not true. That's not true because there's no way because they'd use a cocaine straw and they'd get busted.
Coke.
in a
So yeah,
heartbeat.
they're little.
Yeah.
Can't even suck any drink out of.
They're
thing.
so high on the meth that there's no way they're gonna be able to put this
meth.
stuff together. But so anyway, I basically ask. We land on. Say that you're spending the night in Buffalo, and then just say that the rest is on this itinerary, and then I'd hand the guy my itinerary, and then he could see whatever, and he said just write on it that it's just like on the top of it that it's a surprise for the kids, and he's like, I can't promise that he won't say something.
Holy shit! You're going
Yeah.
to Disney.
Oh,
Hey kids! Hey kids!
Disney, huh? Blah blah blah. But I'm like, I'm not looking for a guarantee. I'm just looking to do this as right as humanly possible.
Right.
Okay. Fast forward. So we've landed on that now. I've got the plans are in order. We're not even going until like for 2 months almost, but I've now got this in order. I feel good about it and whatever. My daughter has to have her Nexus card renewed So Carrie takes her over to the place, which is a U.S. Customs office, to do all that, and she has to get like fingerprints and all that kind of stuff. And the first thing they ask her, do you have any future travel plans? And she's like, yeah. And like she's trying to be
Just write
quiet.
it down on a piece of paper.
She's trying to be the things you don't feel like you can get away with when you're doing that.
Right.
You start writing something down on a piece of paper.
Or
You
they
will have
think
a
it's
gun
bomb
drawn
or
on
something, right?
you.
Well, no, you could have
yeah.
just said like, "Yo, like, let me write it down on a piece of paper."
Yeah,
I can't say it.
Yeah,
Be like,
See,
I can't say it.
to Carrie's admission, no, but here's where Abby's smartness comes in, because she didn't say it before Abby found out.
Right.
So it was basically the fact that Abby had to be sitting right there when this was happening. She's like, yeah, we do have travel plans. Well, when? Oh, end of March. And then Abby was like, oh, are we going to Disney?
Oh
And then
my
she's like,
god.
Yeah. Like, so it was wrecked. So
Was she happy at least?
So of course she was happy. Like there was no question that there was going to be happiness, but then it was just kind of like, I did all this work to make sure that I could do this like in a way that satisfied everybody. And then this guy, like, no real need for that information, because we're just renewing a card that's expiring.
Well, he wants to know this is your card
Yeah.
to get over the border. Lots of just asking you coming over.
Yeah, well, obviously that's why I'm getting the card. Like that's like, and Carrie
It would seem pretty.
Admittedly, Carrie said that I probably would have been a little bit of a smoother talker with that
Right.
situation, where it probably wouldn't have gotten out. Like, I wouldn't have needed to lie. I could have just said, oh yeah, we've got some stuff
It's
in
like
the pipes. Blah, blah,
you
blah.
go like, hey, what are you buying that movie card for? Gonna see some movies?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So no. So I see your credit card's expiring, and you've asked to renew it. Oh, you plan on making purchases later?
Yeah,
Yes. See, and but what I would have said that we have plans to hopefully go to Disney later in the year. That would have been
Right.
what I said. They don't need to have your friggin'.
What would you have done when you got to the airport?
What do you mean?
Like when you got the key, the whole thing goes great, and then you said you were going shopping, and then you show up at the airport.
Because we were waking them up at the hotel and telling them then before we left. So they would have known before we went to
You
the
should have
airport.
just drugged them, and they wake up in
Yeah.
Florida.
That was another discussion that took place. Not a serious discussion.
Do you
but a
kind of feel
discussion.
relieved that it got ruined? Like
No.
all of the.
I'll tell you why I don't. Because I didn't really want to do the surprise in the first place, but then once I finally got on board with it, I was on board.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
right
okay.
on board. You
I
drank
was
the
like,
Kool-Aid,
so
you
I was
were
like,
right on board.
and I'm like, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it right. And I started like fucking Ocean's 11 planning this thing. I was like, we are going to be like this. Every bit of this is going to be done right. And like right down. Oh yeah, I did tell you this. My travel agent, who was helping me plan the whole Disney thing, because I've been really busy at work and stuff. This is one of those Disney places that'll like help book your fast passes
Right.
and stuff like that.
They know all the ins and outs of all that shit.
So I get a contact from one of the people there, and find out that the one who had originally been with me planning my account had passed away like very suddenly
At Disney.
Her name was Carolyn, and so my condolences to the people at that company and to her family and stuff like that, because she was really sweet and she was really helpful when I had her. I do have somebody new. Her name is Carrie, oddly enough, my wife's name, and she has also been really helpful. She got me a lot of fast passes and got me the fast pass for the Millennium Falcon, and then I decided against it and I switched because I wanted the fast pass for Slinky Dog Dash, and I'll explain why. I've been looking at the wait times of the rides, and Slinky Dog Dash has always been slightly longer
That's ridiculous.
because A, it's a roller coaster, and B, it's more little kids.
It's like a kid coaster.
Yeah, it's not really though. It's a bit bigger. It's not a huge roller coaster, but it's popular because it's new and it's that kind of thing. And I was like, I'm not waiting for that, but I want to wait.
Don't even go on it then.
No, well,
Fuck it.
no, I want to go on it, but I'll use my fast pass to do it.
Right.
And I just don't want to wait 2 hours to get onto it. But I'm willing to wait in the Star Wars lines because it's going to be all sorts of cool shit to look at. There's apparently like data pads and stuff you can play with on the Millennium Falcon. Like there's all sorts I'm like, I'll wait forever in that goddamn line if I have to. And as at least the first time. So
I don't fucking know what I would. Even if I went to like Super Nintendo Land and they were like 2 or 3 hours for Mario Kart, I'd be like, see ya.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm standing there for 3 5. Well, when I go though, I'm buying that fucking Ultra Pass.
Yeah.
where you just go as many times as you want around and around.
The problem, though, with those kind of passes is sometimes you'll see the new shit comes out, and it's like, oh, yeah, this doesn't count for that.
Yeah, everything they got there now is working for it.
Yeah. Well, it is now because nothing's new right now.
Right?
But when that new stuff will come out, they'll probably go,
by then I won't even want to be on that.
Yeah.
I'll be all revved up for that shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, so that was a lot
Christmas
to take in.
is ruined.
Yeah. So, yeah, but and then we decided to just, I'm like, I don't want to now. We were going to maybe hold it in for Reese. But I'm like, I'm not going through all that rigmarole now that it's already been half ruined anyways.
Right.
I'm not going through all that shit to maybe get it through. And if it gets ruined on Reese, I'm going to be so mad.
Right.
So I was just like, no, we're just going to tell him.
So wait a minute. Mm-hmm. You said all of the work you did.
Yes.
Meaning calling the border.
I did a lot of, like, I'm just mean not just calling the border. I did a lot of, like, planning and, like, all this kind of shit.
one
like,
fucking phone call. Put me right out.
No, I did a lot of stuff.
It's more than just a phone call. It's everything, right? The planning, the sneaking, the...
Yeah. And it was everything. No, but it was everything leading up. It was booking the tickets. It was getting, like, you know, I'm doing all this stuff around them.
Do children even, like deserve this? Any children?
Yeah.
Your children, why don't you just beat them?
Kids. Well, I do. That's why they get, like...
That's why they get Disney.
That's why they get Disney. Or no, it's, I promised them I was like, if you could take me in a fight, I'll take you to Disney, and they won.
And of course they won, my God.
They got
monsters.
that power that comes from nowhere. But yeah.
Just pumping them with them steroids.
I know, right?
We breed champions in this house.
Reese is that little Hercules kid. Like, he's got abs and stuff already. He just, like, picked me up by the throat.
Kid, eh?
Yeah.
That's funny that you mentioned it because, like, all the time at the bottom of the phone when you're looking at, like, an article of something, it's like, you won't believe what Muscle Kid looks like now. And you're like, fuck this.
And then you're like, wow, he looks like a slightly older version of Muscle Kid with fewer muscles.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always that. You'll never believe what this person looks like. I think I will. It's like, you know, unless...
Number 5 will shock you.
Unless they got their face completely removed and replaced with, like, Bernie Sanders' face. I'm gonna buy into it. I said Bernie Sanders, but going into that, I had planned on saying Bernie Mac. I don't know what really happened.
Hey, whatever, right? Bernie's a Bernie.
I'm feeling the burn, apparently.
Burn.
It's chlamydia.
Feel them.
But I think this is as good a place as any to leave
I
it for
agree.
tonight. We've covered a lot of stuff.
We certainly did.
Stay tuned for next week. Hell Comes to Frogtown. Just a couple more weeks. Our Patreon will be live. Well, our Patreon is live now. You can get on it and go to town.
Do it.
But that is when the first content will be dropped. It's February 20th or February 16th. And yeah, we're really excited to do that. We've done we're into season 2, into our records for that right now, and we've been having a lot of fun with it. It's been
a good show.
It's been really good. So
I'm so happy I never watched anything or read anything about it.
Yeah, I want to. I keep thinking I want to do Oz. I've already got a name for the Oz one too.
Don't say it. Save it for this episode then.
This episode then?
Right, when you played the theme, you know, you'd be like, hey, let's do this theme for when we do
Oz. I see.
And it's just the sound of dudes butt fucking each other.
But what's
and then you hear a clink of the bars, right?
Yeah. I paid actual actors from Oz to butt fuck each other. You can hear in the background, it's actually Christopher Maloney and J.K. Simmons busting nuts inside each other.
Jerking off and watching.
Yeah. Harold Perrineau pretending his penis doesn't work. It's all really good. Actually,
good stuff.
Actually, spoiler alert, in Oz, his penis did work, but he couldn't feel it.
Yeah.
And he had a catheter, if that matters to anybody.
It does.
It comes up.
It will later, it'll matter too.
Yeah. I don't think there's many catheters in Game of Thrones. We haven't at least come across one yet.
Not yet. I've seen so many penises, I definitely know if a catheter was rocking.
For sure. All right, guys. We're going to see you next week with Hell Comes to Frogtown.
It's a fucking good one.
You don't want to miss it.
I don't say it very often. It's a fucking good one.
Please watch along with us for this one. Don't like miss out on this. If you can be sitting at home putting that movie on and putting us on with it, please do.
If I had to recommend one, like of just say, hey, because it's so fresh in my mind to it, it's a really good one. I would definitely recommend Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Yeah, that is among these ones. Those are the ones. Those kind of like the so bad it's good style are always the ones that kind of get me the most revved up while we're watching them.
Right.
Unless other than the ones that are like Star Wars and things.
Or
that
Lord
I
of the
like,
Rings or
just,
something, right?
like something that I'm already over the moon for. But like those ones, it's just because you rewatch them and you're like, fuck, it still holds
held
up.
up. Yep.
Yeah. So see it with us next week. Then just count down a little bit longer and we'll be doing some Patreon shit and all that good stuff. So we will see you then. Bye-bye.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.
Hey, what are you doing? The show's over. Go home.
Yeah, why haven't I gone home?
Because I haven't driven you yet. You
Oh,
fucking
right.
bastard. Bye.